So that moves us on to the S then, which is spark. The spark, we've had a lot of discussion about what is spark. So I always ask people, well, what do you define as spark? And then what gives you your spark? So this is kind of like what gives you your get up and go on a daily basis.
I have to say, and it's the warm feeling I get in my heart, like genuinely. And I think when I get some feedback from some of the people who come to some of our events, and it's very powerful and touching. When I get lovely messages of, different stuff that I've done to try and help, and it's had a positive impact on other people, it's like a warm feeling in my heart. When I teach kids boxing, and I've taught a lot of kids various different sports over the years. And when I see a child come in and see them progress and see, the growth and them growing and the confidence and everything. And, I remember once seeing a lad who struggled a little bit scoring a goal at football, and I will never forget that moment of his little face. Um, the ball almost hit him and went in, but it was, the most powerful moment of seeing him turn around and just smile that he'd scored his first ever goal. And probably, I don't think he'll have gone on to score many more, but that doesn't matter. It was just that one moment, and the whole team ran over, and he wasn't the best footballer in the world by any means. But it was the whole team support that was so pleased for him. And that sort of stuff just gives me my spark, that there is a lot of good in the world. And sometimes we don't see the good for focusing on all the rubbish. And I think sometimes being able to, just have those little moments of sparks of like niceness.
Yeah. And
And I
that's
think,
that's a better buzz than anything that
ah,
you could take would ever give you, isn't it?
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. You could offer me all the money in the world, or to have a life full of those little sparks, and I would take the life full of those little sparks every day of the week. Every day of the
Mm.
week, because it's something more powerful, more genuine, more rewarding, you know. So yeah,
Yeah, and we all need to tune in, don't we? We need to tune in and be aware. So, like you say, I think we're predisposed to the negative, especially if you're doom scrolling and watching the news, because there's no good news channel, is there? It's only bad news.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And sometimes you don't see it, do you? You don't see it, or you don't, go back to it. And sometimes you need to go back to those little spark moments. You know, like if your kids driving, if one of your children's driving you mad, go back to that moment where they rode the bike for the first time with a little smile on their face, or they their first day of school, and when they were dressed in the uniform, your spark in your heart of that moment when you take the photo of them on the step or wherever you do it. Those little things that actually, and you can use it, the spark, you can use it to go back and actually pick out good things in anything. Um, and I think we sometimes don't reflect enough about those little positive sparks. Everybody gets focused on the negatives, don't they?
Mm. Well, that's like everyone talks about their triggers, but there's a wave of talking about glimmers now of
Yeah,
those little moments like that. That's a great thing. I do love. I've got time hop, and I love it when the pictures of the kids come up from like 8 years ago, and like you say,
yeah,
they were either riding a bike or they've got a funny hat on, or they were dressed up for. And you're like, because it is hard once they become teenagers
yeah,
and they're going through that difficult stage, and you're like, let's just remember the good times we had while we get through this
yeah.
journey
Exactly,
of
exactly, exactly. And it's a journey, isn't it? Nothing, it's a journey. You're gonna have those moments. It's not always going to be plain sailing. It's not always going to be, what people perceive to be perfect. But as long as you're on that journey together. That's the most important thing.